Inside Fighting, UFC 324 is just one sleep away. So I'm very excited and I really want to get into these prelims and early prelim fights. Yesterday, we did a show called Insider Betting every Thursday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I go live with me and my buddy Adam, and we talk and break down the main card of whichever UFC fight is on the way this week. UFC 324, the UFC is finally back, but we have some prelims and early prelims to break down. And I want to give you guys my takes compared to AI and ChatGPT to see if we're on the same page. A little different style of a stream today, just looking to kind of get hype, get excited for these prelim fights because I'm going to be watching this whole card live tomorrow for a watch party. So don't miss that. We're going to be placing bets. Shout out to DraftKings for also sponsoring this week's live streams. We love our partners here at DraftKings. So quickly, if you are not signed up with DraftKings and you are a new customer, they have a great offer for you guys. Go check this out. $5 to receive $300 in bonus bets. It's pretty amazing. So quickly, we'll give you guys the offer, and then we'll start breaking down these fights and comparing them to ChatGPT to see if we're on the same page or which fights we are not on the same page. I have a funny feeling that ChatGPT and I are going to be quite aligned, but we will see. I haven't looked too hard into my notes. I'm just excited to see if they have any bizarre takes, any big underdog picks. I think it could be exciting, and we'll kind of compare week to week to see how good GPT does compared to how good just the normal UFC fans picks do. So I'm excited for this series and to see how it goes. Leave a comment if you guys like this series. Eventually we'll get into it, but let me know. So here's DK. Shout out to DK. We love you, DK. Hey, Inside Fighting, the wait is finally over. The UFC is back this weekend, and we're back partnering with our friends over at DraftKings to bring you closer to all the action. Right now, if you're a new customer, go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You can sign up using our promo code Inside Fighting, bet $5, and you'll receive $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Again, that's for new customers. Go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, bet $5, and you'll receive $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's only at DraftKings. The crown is yours. Yes, sir. Shout out to DraftKings. Love you, DraftKings. This first fight on the main card, there's a huge favorite, undefeated prospect. He was undefeated in LFA, just got his Dana White Contender Series contract. He's a minus 450 favorite. Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit. I'm excited for the first bout on the card, but it should be a pretty easy fight for Ty Miller. I do think he's going to have the advantage in the striking, in the grappling. Adam Fugit does have great distance control, but I think the pressure of Ty Miller, he's going to get into his face and make that hard to manage for Adam Fugit. But let's see what GPT says on this one. They're hyping up Fugit's striking, long striker, even though these fighters have a similar reach. Come on, load up for me, man. They are hyping up Adam Fugit's striking on GPT, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think the grappling will come in from Ty Miller. They do have, Ty Miller even has a longer reach. So there it is, Miller's grappling first fighter. So he's going to be strong in that clinch. And they say his cardio improves as the fight goes on, which I do believe he will look better and better the longer this fight goes on. I do think Adam Fugit does have to have a very strong first round in this fight. If he doesn't have a strong first round, it's going to be so tough for him to come out of this with a decision. And it's more likely that Ty Miller will find a finish, whether it's a grounded pound finish. That would be exciting, but I do think it's probably going to be a submission. The prediction, Ty Miller by submission in round 3. ChatGPT says Miller's pressure plus grappling will take over once Fugit slows. Totally agree there. So we are 1 for 1, GPT, on our predictions. I'm on the same page. Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman. This one's a fun one, heavyweight bout. Josh Hokett, if you're not seeing this guy on social media, make sure you guys go find some clips, look up his name. He's absolutely hilarious. He's great on the mic, and he's even better in the cage. He's looked really good. I think he's going to look even better in this fight against Denzel Freeman, who really didn't impress me in his debut in the UFC. He was very slow. He didn't look like he put on any pressure. He was just kind of point fighting. It was kind of disappointing, not going to lie. But as an underdog here, maybe he turns up a little bit. Maybe he gets mad and he sees the criticism online and he watches the tape from his last fight and he's not that impressed. He's an ex-military guy, I believe, as well. So maybe that killer instinct is in him, but we haven't been seeing that yet. So I'm excited for this fight. Should be a fun one. GPT says Hokett's heavy grappling approach, strong clinch control, limited striking offense. So that is true. Josh Hokett is definitely more advanced in his grappling. Denzel Freeman has a great kickboxing stance. So we'll see. Will the kicks of Freeman land? Will the strikes of Freeman land? I'm kind of 50-50 on this one. I do like the underdog pick, but let's see what GPT says. Hokett must control the distance immediately, chain wrestle relentlessly, avoid striking at range, defend early takedowns, hurt Hokett before grappling settles in, finish early, or risk being controlled. Great prediction from GPT. 2 for 2 on good predictions, but even though they say Hokett needs to find that first round finish, they do think the control time will outweigh Denzel Freeman's moments. So I think GPT watched Freeman's last fight and they're not on the hype train at all. And they're going with the fan favorite. They're going with the fan favorite, Josh Hokett. So I like the underdog here, but he hasn't shown that will to win in his first fight. Will he show it here? I'm not sure. Josh Hokett by decision is what GPT says. See, me, I wanted to bet Denzel Freeman underdog, but GPT is saying Josh Hokett by decision with the grappling and the control time. Give me the underdog. I don't care, GPT. We're going against each other. Let's start this series strong. Let's see who's actually sharper. I'm picking Denzel Freeman, the underdog in this spot. I believe he's a plus 170, 187, plus 175 underdog. So I like that. Maybe there's some value here, but if Josh Hokett comes in, looks good in the first round, gets some takedowns, controls this fight, it's going to be a long night in the office, a long 15 minutes for Denzel Freeman, and the hype train will continue on for Hokett. I like this next bout, lightweight bout, Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. The line is actually shifting on this fight. Right now, we're seeing Michael Johnson as an underdog here, but Alexander Hernandez surprisingly is swapping. A lot of people are placing their money on Michael Johnson in this fight. I'm curious to see what ChatGPT says about this one. I like the younger guy here. I like Alexander Hernandez, who's just coming off that knockout over Chase Hooper in the first round. I had Chase Hooper in that fight. I had Michael Johnson in his last fight. Michael Johnson does have really fast hands. He has that experience, that veteran mindset. But Alexander Hernandez, he's longer, he's rangier. This one's tricky. I don't know if Alexander Hernandez is just going to be able to bounce on the outside and kind of point fight his way to a decision here. He's going to have to make it dirty with a guy who likes it dirty. Michael Johnson's really good in that clinch. He's really good at putting the pressure on. He's really good at winning by knockout. So this one's scary. I don't see this one going the distance. Somebody's going to drop in this fight. That's my prediction. I would go under 2.5 rounds for this one. I think it's going to be sparks flying. I think this one is going to be a fan favorite on the prelims of this card. Let's see what AI says for the style matchup. Michael Johnson, fast, accurate boxing. Struggles with consistency. Can be pressured into mistakes. That's, he's getting a little older. Chill out, GPT. Chill out. Hernandez, explosive wrestler, high output early, cardio drops in shots if don't land. Cardio drops if shots don't land. Yeah, that's fairly true, GPT, fairly true, but he's the younger guy, so I don't think his cardio will be as much as a problem as they're saying here. Johnson must keep the fight standing, use lateral movement, and avoid brawling exchanges. I think getting in a brawl is good for Michael Johnson. I really do, because he's going to be the faster guy in those brawls. He has just as much power, if not more power, than Alexander Hernandez. So It's going to be tricky for Hernandez when the fight collides. And if it keeps colliding, he might get dropped. Hernandez must Hernandez must wrestle early and often. So they really don't want to see Hernandez getting into those brawls with Michael Johnson, which is fair because he could get knocked out. Make Johnson uncomfortable, avoid striking early. Gotcha, GPT. They really want to see Hernandez wrestle and Michael Johnson to outstrike this guy. So I'm kind of aligned with GPT here again. Let's see what their final prediction is. Michael Johnson by decision, cleaner striking plus experience over 3 rounds. Ooh, GPT. I'm going against you on this one. So GPT, I'm going against you on 2 out of the 3 first fights on this card. I have the younger guy. I don't think this one's going to decision. I think Alexander Hernandez, coming off a first-round knockout, wants to continue that momentum. I'd like him to get the knockout in the first or the second round. I like an under in this spot, under 2.5 rounds. Again, yes, I'm doing a sneaky parlay of some unders, and I think it could hit. But this one, a lot of people kind of flipping sides on Alexander Hernandez right now. A lot of money is going on Michael Johnson, which is completely flipping the line to turn him into a favorite, which is really concerning. I really want to fade this fight, but I really want Alexander Hernandez to be that guy in this division to come up. We need a new guy. We need a new guy. Could it be him? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I'm going against GPT on this one. Michael Johnson, you won me bread in your last fight. I'm too scared to do that again. So give me Alexander Hernandez going against GPT again. So we'll see. Maybe AI is the new way to get your locks in. But for me, no. Next fight on this card. Done with the early prelims. Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. Man, do I love Charles Johnson. I love me a Charles Johnson fight. Let's see what GPT is saying here. Ooh, let me just first mention, obviously, Cameron Smotherman. If you haven't seen the clip already, it's been going around social media all day. The weigh-ins, Cameron Smotherman versus Ricky Tercios. Cameron Smotherman, horrible weight cut, fell down, passed out right off the scale. He will not be fighting. That fight is canceled, so we won't be needing to break that one down. You watching betting Zuffa boxing card today? I would love to watch the main event. I'm not the biggest boxer guy. They're going to have to get some UFC stars to get me hyped for boxing on Zuffa, but I will probably tune into that. I should watch that. If you guys want me to go live and watch that card, I could consider it for sure. Who's hyped for Zuffa? Be honest. If you're hyped for Zuffa, leave a comment. Also, like, what should they be doing to improve Zuffa, get more eyes on Zuffa? Like, Dana White was asked about Zuffa boxing at the press conference and didn't really have the best answer for that question. So I think Zuffa's going a little bit under the radar when it should be, new UFC Paramount deal, Zuffa boxing. It's just not on the same level of hype, but UFC 324, I'm sure, will not disappoint. And this fight between Charles Johnson versus Alex Perez will definitely not disappoint. Alex Perez had a also very bad weight cut on the scale. He looked really, really drained today in the weigh-in. So good for Charles Johnson, who looked pretty good on the scales, getting a lot of roasts and criticism for his haircut. I think it's super dope. He rocks the bald, rocks the skullet is what he calls it, I believe. So I like Charles Johnson. His fights are super explosive. Let's break this one down a little bit. He has a little better height, a little better reach. And I think that will come into play. I think he's going to really control the center of the octagon in this one, pressure him against the cage, probably find a knockout, to be honest. Let's see what GPT says. Alex Perez has a strong wrestling base. He's going to need to use his wrestling for sure against Charles Johnson, but I don't even think he lands a takedown if I'm being completely real. Good pace when healthy, looks top control and pressure. I don't think he finds it in this one. Johnson's a tall featherweight, tall flyweight striker, high volume, weakness against grapplers. So Alex Perez will need to find that grappling in this fight if he wants to find success against such a technical, fast striker in Johnson. Perez must mix entries behind punches, secure top control early, avoid prolonged striking exchanges. Facts. Charles Johnson needs to stuff takedowns. Easy work. Come on, you trained your whole life for that. You got it. Control. If you can't defend takedowns in any division, and this is not a ranked fight, so you got to show that you could defend those takedowns. If you want to move up in the rankings, show that you can defend those takedowns, defeat a good wrestler. This is a good opportunity, a great matchup for Charles Johnson. Force Perez into a striking match. Obviously, that's what he's going to do. ChatGPT says Alex Perez to win by decision, wrestling, and control most rounds. So they also said this in the heavyweight fight with Josh Hokett. GPT said Hokett's wrestling over the striking of Denzel Freeman. Now they're saying the wrestling of Alex Perez will be too much. It will take Charles Johnson to a decision, and he will win. GPT, I got to go against you again, man. 3 fights I'm against GPT in so far. 4 fights we broke down. 3 fights I'm against ChatGPT. If you want to lock in your ChatGPT AI parlay, this could be the time, but I'm going against them again. I think Charles Johnson's going to piece him up early, guys. I think this is another under 2.5 round fight. I think he finds the knockout. Again, Alex Perez didn't look good on that scale. Charles Johnson is different. He is different. He's like a Sean O'Malley. He's like a Kyler Phillips. Sorry, I'm so bad with names sometimes, but he's just so explosive. I think he lands like a head kick or a body kick, something explosive, maybe a spinning elbow. Big moment for Charles Johnson on the prelims, I think. Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. Now, I have been seeing some people saying Nikita Krylov, and I just don't understand it at all. He is an underdog in this one. Modestas Bukauskas is on a streak of wins. He's the younger guy, the surging momentum, and dude, does he ever have knockout power. And Nikita Krylov, he gets knocked out. He probably has a slight advantage in the grappling, so I'll give him that. If he could take down Modestas Bukauskas and control him on the ground and find a submission, all props to Nikita Krylov. I'm sorry for disrespecting you here in my breakdown, but Modestas Bukauskas, I saw this guy live in Seattle and get a first-round knockout and then do a backflip. He's a different level of athleticism, and I think he's only looked better and better, and his story is incredible, from getting his leg torn apart from Khalil Roundtree surgery, coming back and to put together the streak that he has. If he could continue this momentum, eventually get to a title, into the rankings here. This is his first ranked opponent in a while. Great comeback story for Modestas Bukauskas. I'm a big fan, and I do think he finds the knockout here. I'm excited to see what ChatGPT says, but this is another under 2.5 rounds, I believe. Under 2.5 round parlay is going to be cooking. Let's see. Light heavyweight match. Krylov, wild but aggressive. Heavy clinch game. Experience advantage. Yes, all true. Bukauskas is a technical striker, cleaner fundamentals, and less comfortable under pressure. I think he's getting more comfortable in chaos. Just so much experience in Modestas Bukauskas' career so far. It's surprising to see that he's not even in the rankings. This fight will get him into the rankings. I think he finds a knockout. Keys to victory: Krylov must crowd Bukauskas, force clinch exchanges, turn this into a physical fight. Bukauskas must watch, keep range, pick Krylov apart at distance, avoid clinch situations. I think he's going to be strong in the clinch, man. Yes, Nikita Krylov, that's his game, but I think Bukauskas could easily swap him around and land some heavy, devastating shots, man. This guy looks for the finish. He's a killer in that octagon, man. So I'm going Modestas Bukauskas. Give me the favorite in this one. Let's see what GPT's decision says. Nikita Krylov by decision, pressure and experience edge it. So we're seeing ChatGPT is saying pressure, wrestling, control time, decision wins. And I'm kind of disagreeing. Maybe it's a little more gutsy of a bet to go under to predict the finish. But come on, Nikita Krylov, you're getting chinned in this one. Let's all be honest. Modestas Bukauskas is my pick. The UFC fan pick. ChatGPT gone against me again. Nikita Krylov by decision. If you're liking these ChatGPT picks, let me know. Let me know. If you're just watching this on YouTube some random time, let me know if you're liking these ChatGPT picks. They're seeing a lot of control time, a lot of decisions. I'm seeing a lot of unders and a lot of finishes. Maybe that's just the inner fan in me. Maybe I need to put my analyst glasses on and really break it down to where I can see Nikita Krylov getting a decision, but I can't. I can't see Nikita Krylov 15 minutes of control time on Modestas Bukauskas, who's so dangerous. I'm excited for this fight. Atiba Gutierrez versus Andre Puliev. Crazy matchmaking, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, why is Atiba Gutierrez another minus 1,000 favorite? This is a bigger favorite than Anthony Joshua was against Jake Paul. It's not good matchmaking. You got to give him a Marc-Andre Barrios or Marvin Vettori or somebody like just entering the rankings, give him somebody. Andre Puliev, maybe they're like, maybe we could see some wrestling in this one. Maybe Gutierrez gets to a second round. Maybe we see some takedowns. Maybe it's not just a knockout in the first round, but I'm seeing knockout first round. I'm seeing knockout in the second round. I'm seeing knockout whenever Atiba Gutierrez wants. What's Andre Puliev have on this guy? Absolutely nothing. That's why he's a minus 1,000 favorite. He has no advantages. He has 0 advantages in this fight. Can we see some takedown attempts? I'm very doubtful, but it would be interesting to see Atiba Gutierrez have to fight some diversity, and I don't think he's going to find any diversity in this fight. I think he's going to be smooth sailing for Gutierrez. He's a pretty sharp lock for your parlay. Put him by knockout. It'd be interesting to see him do a submission, but I don't think he needs to go there. I don't think he needs to show the takedown. Maybe he wants to. Maybe he stretches this one out because this is a comfortable matchup for him. Maybe he wants to make this exciting for the fans and prolong this fight a little bit, but he doesn't have to. He could shut his lights out early. This is one of the most terrifying prospects in the UFC right now. Atiba Gutierrez, really big fan of this guy. He's going to spark the lights out of this Puliev guy. Let's see what GPT thinks. AI and me have not been getting along so far in this video. Gutierrez is an explosive power striker, aggressive early, kill or be killed style. That's what makes you a fan favorite, guys. Kill or be killed style. ChatGPT, very good there. Puliev, durable, slower starter, relies on defense and counters. Yeah, great style against the killer be killed guy. Wrong. Keys to victory, Gutierrez must start fast, cut the cage, land clean before Puliev settles in. Puliev can settle in all he wants. He's not going to win this fight. I'm sorry. Puliev must survive early storm, drag fight into the later rounds, capitalize on Gutierrez's aggression. That's good keys to victory for Puliev. It's low-key impossible. But we will see. A fight's a fight. Prediction, ChatGPT says Atiba Gutierrez by KO in round 1. Too much power, too early. And finally, me and GPT are on the same page for one of these fights. Finally. I think only the first fight on the early prelims and now this fight are the 2 fights that me and ChatGPT have gotten on the same page about. This is interesting to kind of go and compare my takes to ChatGPT's. I've never done this before. I think it's pretty interesting, man. If you want to ride with the AI or if you want to ride with a normal, casual UFC fan, it's really up to you. But I know my parlays are in, and watch party on Saturday is going to be so exciting. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to the watch party. It's been so long since UFC has been here. And now it's just one sleep away. I am so excited. And the headline of the prelims is a good one. It's a banger, you could say. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davidson Figueiredo. Davidson Figueiredo looked really, really bad today on the weigh-ins. Really bad. He weighed in at 138 pounds, had a really hard time cutting to bantamweight. And this is a former flyweight champion, guys. Something must be going on with Davidson Figueiredo. Or maybe it's a strategic approach and he needs to be a little bigger, because Umar Nurmagomedov is a massive bantamweight. He is going to be so hard to have any kind of success against. Davidson Figueiredo, you are going to be at a disadvantage in the grappling, a disadvantage, I want to say, in the striking as well, but he did show really good striking against Peter Yan. Not so much against Corey. Corey kind of, if Corey could get him out of there in the second round, I think Umar Nurmagomedov needs to find the finish in this fight. Umar kind of has that reputation of going the distance. It would be nice to see him kind of get a quick finish in this one, call his shot at the title, but then, if he needs an impressive performance here, if he doesn't, Sugar Show is going to perform on the main card and call his shot for the title, and Umar is going to have to sit behind and maybe rematch Merab, or because that Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley fight is waiting to happen. So if Sean puts on the performance that I think the Sugar Show can and will do, he's going to be the next for a title shot. But Umar, if you do something impressive, maybe he calls his shot at the title and gets his opportunity that he's been waiting for. Or maybe Figgy, the plus 800 underdog, shocks the world, beats Umar Nurmagomedov, hops on the mic. I just can't see this reality, but maybe there's a way. I'm not seeing any value at a plus 800 underdog in this fight, especially after the weigh-ins, guys. Do not be fooled. Umar Nurmagomedov could be another puzzle piece on your parlay, but at a negative 1,400 favorite, you kind of have to find some value there. A lot of people are saying another decision win for Umar. I'd like to see him get the finish under 2.5 rounds. That would be my play in this fight. But I don't even know if I'll touch it, to be honest. It's just a weird one. Not a lot of value on Umar, but he is the pick here. He is the better fighter all around. All around better fighter. And it is crazy to see Davidson Figueiredo struggled to make bantamweight when he was such a good flyweight. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy, guys. I'm curious to see if ChatGPT finds value on the plus 800 underdog here. Let's see. Umar has elite chain wrestling, constant pressure, and a methodical pace. Methodical. I know what it means. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Methodical. I think that's how I said it right. Methodical. Not methodical, methodical. Davidson Figueiredo, explosive power, dangerous submissions, less effective off his back. Dangerous submissions against who? Not Umar Nurmagomedov. I'll tell you that for free. Keys to victory: Umar must avoid wild exchanges, maintain top control, stay patient. I kind of disagree. I think Umar Nurmagomedov needs to put the pace on this guy. Yes, it will put him in some trouble. Obviously, you don't want to put yourself at KO risk early in a fight. Davidson Figueiredo definitely has hands, but I think he should kind of Merab his way to a victory here. Take him down, ground and pound, try to get to the back, find the submission, get the finish. And I think he will. Figueiredo must create chaos early, hurt Umar on the feet, capitalize on scrambles. The prediction from ChatGPT. So my prediction is Umar under 2.5 rounds, finds the finish. ChatGPT says Umar by decision, control, pressure, and consistency. ChatGPT is taking no risks. ChatGPT is watching boring decisions all night long. I really hope GPT is wrong in their predictions here. I'm rooting for Umar to find the finish and get the job done early. Anyways, those were the breakdowns of my picks compared to ChatGPT's picks on the early prelims and prelims. If you're wondering, why don't you just compare? I will do some of the main card right now. Fine. I'll do it. I'll do some of the main card. But if you don't know, every week I go live on Thursdays. Yesterday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time to do Insider Betting, the show where I give you guys my best picks for the main card of whichever UFC card is on the way. So we already broke these fights down. But for the main event, I will just go through the predictions of every GPT fight on the main card. For the first main event, Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. ChatGPT says Justin Gaethje will find the knockout in rounds 2 or 3. Relentless leg kick, slows Paddy down, punches finish. One movement is gone. Upset Justin Gaethje by KO. ChatGPT and me could not be more not aligned on these fights, guys. That's absolutely crazy. Or is it? Maybe Justin Gaethje pulls off this fairy tale ending to his career. He wins the interim title, fights Ilya at the White House, revenge match against Max Holloway or Charles Oliveira, whoever has the BMF title, and retires. But I really think that's really hard against these new gen fighters like Ian Gary, Paddy Pimblett. They're built different, man. I do think Paddy finds the finish probably around the same time, second or third round. But they do say Paddy by sub if Gaethje overcommits. That's their little slight take on AI. They say maybe Paddy could find a sub. I'm saying maybe Justin Gaethje could find a knockout, but Scousers don't get knocked out. It's just not going to happen. I think Paddy's the truth. I think he finds the finish. I don't think this one goes to championship rounds. That's what I said on my show yesterday. But who knows? If it does, it'll be more exciting to see Justin Gaethje in that 4th, 5th round. Will Justin Gaethje overwhelm Paddy with pressure and output? It's a possible reality. I'm just not sure we're going to see that. I think it's way more likely that Paddy kind of treats him like Michael Chandler, like he's kind of been saying in his media, pressures him and takes him down, finds a submission or a ground and pound finish. Co-main event, Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. ChatGPT says Sean O'Malley is a slight favorite here. I do think he deserves that. I do think Sean O'Malley is going to find a great performance in this one, hopefully a finish, but it's going to be hard. Song Yadong fights 5-round fights. He's a tough, and he has this crazy technique where he finger pokes you in the eye. Henry Cejudo was low-key piecing him up in that last fight. So who knows? He could have lost to Henry Cejudo in his last fight. Now he's fighting Sean O'Malley. I think Sean O'Malley is going to have his way here with Song Yadong, although Song Yadong is very good. So you never know. Sean O'Malley by decision, 29-28. Outlandish Song over 3 rounds with movement and precision. I think that's a pretty accurate prediction from ChatGPT. 29-28. Maybe Song has a really strong first round, kind of scares people, but I think we're going to see a unanimous decision here for Sean O'Malley. Or a nice Sugar Show highlight KO would be so fun. Steal the show, call out for the White House fight against Peter Yan. I would love this moment to be massive. Schmitty needs to make it massive. If you know, you know. But I'm excited for this fight. I'm a big Sugar Show stan. I got my Sugar Show on me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm rooting for the Sugar Show. I think he finds the finish. Heavyweight bout, Derek Lewis versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Let's see what ChatGPT says here. Do they think Derek Lewis will find another one of his vintage knockouts? No. They say Cortez Acosta by KO in round 2. Volume plus fatigue overwhelms Lewis. I don't think GPT's putting in the factor of Derek Lewis being in the best shape of his whole career. He's on peptides now. He's running. He's looking good. I think Waldo Cortez Acosta is the truth, man. He's the most active UFC heavyweight fighter. I'd love to see an active UFC heavyweight champion. Give him his title shot if he gets a knockout here. Don't put him against Sergey Pavlovich. Don't put him against Volkov. Don't put him against whoever. They could either book him against Gone next as an interim title or whatever and wait for Tom's surgery, or give him Tom Aspinall next, because I think Waldo Cortez Acosta has the possibility of being the biggest star in the UFC, especially if he gets these guys on his record. Derek Lewis would look so good. First round knockout against Derek Lewis. I can't wait for this fight. It is going to be sparks flying. If it goes to round 2, that would be fine too. But I do think he finds the finish early. Give me Waldo Cortez Acosta. Rose Namajunas versus Natalia Silva. And then one more fight. We'll see what ChatGPT says. But we really weren't aligned on those early and normal prelims. But Natalia Silva by decision, pushes pace, disrupts Rose's rhythm. I think we're aligned here for this one. I think everybody on these main card picks are kind of aligned on the way we're seeing these ones go. Rose Namajunas, got to give her credit where credit's due. She's one of the greatest of all time. This is not her true division. She was a champion in the strawweight division. I think Natalia Silva is going to be a little bigger, a little stronger, and faster, and she's just going to be able to control this one. But if Rose puts in a good game plan and really puts on the pressure and starts hitting her in the face, you never know. Rose could pull up off the upset here. I don't see it happening, especially her fight against Carla Esparza was so boring. Rose Namajunas hasn't shown me a classic Rose performance in a long time. Great win against Miranda Maverick in her last fight, but this one, I'm hearing a lot of people saying this fight will be their bathroom break, their food break, their smoke break. I'm going to be watching. I'll be watching live tomorrow, but give me Natalia Silva. I think she's a lock on all of my parlays. So if Rose, you pull this one off, I'm going to be pretty upset, but also credit to you. You deserve it. If you find the win, call your shot for the title. And that would be amazing for Rose. I don't think it's going to happen, and I'm done betting with my heart, especially in 2026. I want to be sharper with my picks and start making some bread, man. Last fight, we're going to see what ChatGPT says compared to what I say. The last fight on this card, technically on the last, we kind of went in a different order here, but Gene Silva versus Arnold Allen, the autism, the spectrum fight of the card. This one's so fun. I was so happy when this fight got announced. Two really elite strikers who are just going to bang, bang, bang. This one's going to get bloody, I think, guys. This one's going to get bloody. Ooh, ChatGPT saying Arnold Allen by decision. Wow. They think the jab is going to counterstrike Silva's aggression. Silva's dangerous early, but he fades late. ChatGPT does not like that. Silva's coming off of a loss, his first loss in his career. But Arnold Allen, being as inactive as he is, I don't think he's going to be able to just piece somebody up who could find the flow state that Gene Silva finds in his fights. I like Gene Silva to find the knockout in this fight under 2.5. Again, I like an under in this fight. I like a Gene Silva finish. So I'm going against the Arnold Allen decision play of ChatGPT. This is going to be a fun fight, though. This is going to be a fun fight. Maybe Arnold Allen finds that in him, that will to win. Hey, you guys counted me out. Hey, I have something to prove here, and gets the win and gets back into his peak kind of performance. And I just don't see that happening, but maybe he finds it. Maybe he calls out like a Laurent Murphy or Aljamain Sterling next and see more of a grappling approach from him. But in this one, I don't think he gets the grappling started. I think Gene Silva is going to be running away from that, really landing those counter strikes, and when he needs to find that flow state, put it on and probably find the finish against Arnold Allen. Not saying Arnold Allen's washed. I just don't see the value at plus 225. If you want to bet him by decision, maybe single play, Arnold Allen decision, upset Gene Silva. Gene Silva just lost his last fight. I understand it. I'm not betting that personally. ChatGPT says that's the pick, not for me. Give me Gene Silva by knockout. I love rooting for a Gene Silva knockout. There's nothing like it. The way he fights is so fun to watch. To be on the edge of your seat cheering for that knockout is always so much fun. So give me Gene Silva by knockout. That's UFC 324, guys. I am so excited for this card. More excited than I've been in a long time because we haven't had UFC in what feels like forever, but it's finally back. Shout out to DraftKings for sponsoring this live stream. We'll be back tomorrow with the full watch party, betting, enjoying the whole card. It's going to be exciting. Make sure you tap in with me tomorrow. We're also going to get the TikTok chat going, which is really fun, responding to comments throughout the live and really seeing what other people are saying about these fights, because I'm sure my picks and ChatGPT picks are different from a lot of your guys' picks. So I'm excited to see what you guys are saying in the watch party tomorrow. But again, if you're a new customer to DraftKings, make sure you go get those bonus bets, $5 to receive $300 in bonus bets, so you can bet along with me tomorrow while watching the fights. This was a new series that I'm going to be doing. Thursdays, breaking down the main card with my buddy. Fridays, breaking down the early prelims and prelims with AI to compare. AI and me did not compare did not come to an agreement on a lot of these fights. They're seeing a lot of decision wins. I'm seeing a lot of knockouts. We'll see how this turns out tomorrow. One more sleep, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment if this style of video was fun to watch, if you like comparing these fights to AI, and I'll make sure to do them again and again and again. Once Dana White Contender Series comes back, we'll be live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday every week, and possibly even more. So stay tuned, subscribe. I appreciate everybody who came in, turned up for the live. Appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.